So Tyreek Hill back to the Kansas City Chiefs is somehow, some way being talked about. And to be honest, this is going to be a very odd topic for certain people, right? That's Chiefs fans, because the way that Tyreek Hill left this team, I didn't really like it. And, he talked a whole bunch of trash about the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, we all love Tyreek Hill as a player, obviously, because he was our wide receiver one. It's Tyreek Hill. We loved having him on the Kansas City Chiefs. But the thing about him is that when he left us, he kind of was talking a lot of trash about how Patrick Mahomes isn't accurate like Tua. Just a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make sense, and things that he was saying, about a team that drafted him and gave him a chance when other teams wasn't trying to give him a chance. It was kind of sad. It was kind of like betrayal. But now we found ourselves in a situation where Tyreek Hill can potentially come back to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't have a problem with it. Even though all the things he said, Chiefs got the last laugh at the end of the day. I mean, as soon as Tyreek Hill left, the Kansas City Chiefs literally went back to back, and Tyreek Hill didn't go back to back. And one of them years, the Chiefs literally eliminated Tyreek Hill out the playoffs, so we got the last laugh on Tyreek Hill. So it's safe to say that we own him. So the fact that we own him when he's not on the Chiefs is why I believe Tyreek Hill should come back to the Chiefs, But we're going to talk in this video on why it's actually a possibility and why it's being talked about that he could even come back to the Chiefs. So let's get into that. But the thing about this trade destination for Tyreek Hill is it's crazy, right? If you look at Monday night's meltdown by the Miami Dolphins, you could visibly see that Tyreek Hill was upset, and he was even at one point seen shouting at someone on the sideline behind Mike McDaniel. And the frustration for Tyreek Hill has reached a new level, and it's some media circles that suggesting trading Hill back to the Kansas City Chiefs. And in week 4, we know that the Kansas City Chiefs' number one wide receiver, Rashee Rice, suffered a knee injury, which could cost him the rest of the campaign. And getting a deal done wouldn't be easy between Kansas City and Miami, but it wouldn't be impossible either. But we don't know if the Miami Dolphins GM would try to even, make this trade a thing again, or even pick up the phone for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Now, trading Tyreek Hill would be a horrible look for the Miami Dolphins and their GM. And the first part of a trade equation is need. And the Chiefs have some need, but they also know that Tyreek Hill and his personality, that might not be something that they want back on the roster. And the Kansas City Chiefs will also have to take on the majority of his contract that hasn't already been paid. And Miami gave him some more guaranteed money this offseason. So we don't know if the Kansas City Chiefs really want to take that burden right now. And I don't know. The Chiefs, they definitely want him back. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill wants to be back, but we don't know. The third part is the Dolphins wanting to move him, and we don't know how that's going to get. Miami, they may not also want to keep his contract, and they're looking at a season that could be folded up by week 8 when Tua is expected to return. But the Dolphins' window for this season is closing quickly, and it could be closed permanently by the midseason. It looks really, really bad for the Miami Dolphins right now. And then the final part of this entire situation is compensation. Kansas City isn't going to give back what they got in return for Hill in that trade that brought him to Miami. So the Dolphins would likely get a first-round pick in return, which is that's honestly funny, because if we could get Tyreek for a second-round pick and still keep McDuffie and all them guys we got, the Dolphins gets played. So I don't think the Miami Dolphins would do this trade, because it's just going to look very, very bad on them. Hill was a big part of the Dolphins offense. So for now, it's all speculation and nothing more. But the fact that this is even being brought up and this is even being put into a possibility is honestly crazy. So out of all these wide receiver targets that we've been having lately, because the Kansas City Chiefs, if Rashee Rice is really hurt bad, they're going to have to make a move, because we're Xavier Worthy injury away from hell, like I said in my last video. So I made a video on DeAndre Hopkins. Now this is a Tyreek Hill video because it's actually being talked about, and I've been seeing this on the media. Devontae Adams has been another name. Amari Cooper. So I'll make some videos on those guys as well. But trading Tyreek Hill back to KC, man, it's interesting, but it's just hard to believe on the Dolphins' end. If they're down to do it, I'm pretty sure Brett Veach will pull the trigger and bring back Tyreek Hill. You know, Veach love his reunions. He just brought back Kareem Hunt. He just brought back Jody Fortson, McCole Hardman. So it's not impossible. So Tyreek Hill to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's definitely like a long shot that it happens. But man, with the way things go and how just life in general works, I would not sit here and say that it's impossible. Now, think about this, right? Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy. Like, first of all, Rashid Rice, he's most likely going to be injured. But Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy, that's Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill part 2, but with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Still got Hollywood Brown who could come back. I mean, this team would be absolutely insane. But you know how this is every year. I mean, as Chiefs fans, we know we're always in talks for a superstar wide receiver, and it just never happens, right? Now, we go out there, we try to get Tyreek Hill. It's not going to happen probably, but it wouldn't be our fault. I know Brett Veach will pull the trigger and try, but it just wouldn't be our fault if it doesn't happen. Then with guys like Devontae Adams, who Brett Veach will also try to get, that he won't get, or he would have a hard time getting, due to the fact that Devontae Adams somehow, some way, unluckily is a Las Vegas Raider, and they don't like us. So I doubt they're going to give us one of the greatest wide receivers in the last few years. I doubt they're going to do that, but who knows? They have nothing to lose, so they shouldn't really care. It's not like they're going to win the AFC West. I mean, they know they're not. Then you got Amari Cooper, which makes it more sense to me. But since we eliminated the Browns at the playoffs before, I don't know what they might have against us. So at the end of the day, we don't know how any of this is going to go. But all I know is Tyreek Hill back with the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be something to watch. It'll be cinema. It'll be a movie. But I doubt it's going to happen. And that's just me being real. Like, the only reason I have the doubt is because I don't see why the Dolphins trade Tyreek Hill back to us. I think that's very embarrassing. But if it does happen, I would love it. And the fact that it's being brought up and discussed and talked about means that it has to be some type of thing going on behind closed doors that we don't know about. Because these rumors don't really come out of nowhere. Well, sometimes they do, but most likely it's not out of nowhere. It's definitely something. And we know Tyreek Hill want to come back to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs will love to welcome him back. So we'll just keep monitoring the situation, and then we'll see how this goes. But for now, it's been your boy Chiefs Priority. And I'm out, man. Peace. I got another banger video coming for y'all after this.